I believe they called this guy Courtney. Let's take a listen and see if you find the same conclusion I found. Courtney, are you okay, Courtney?
Donald Trump didn't give a fuck about the guy who passed out in the Oval Office.
You okay? Courtney, okay?
Donald Trump didn't give a fuck about the guy who passed out in the Oval Office.
You okay? Courtney, okay?
This was a press conference where Donald Trump got CEOs of big pharmaceutical companies in the same room.
Okay, so I just want to really focus on this guy, Courtney, because I've read a whole bunch of news articles. A lot of people wrote an article about it. Newsweek, fucking Wall Street Journal. None of them pointed out who the guy was. Somebody said it was Courtney Gordon. And somebody said Novo Nordisk, but that's a company that was the executive of Novo Nordisk. Apparently Gordon Finley said he wasn't even at the press conference. Somebody had floated Dave Moore or Mike Doster or some shit. So this guy just he just fainted. And apparently he was a patient, or he was, the company is doing this GLP-1 medication. So that's Ozempic, Wegovy. So Eli Lilly, so I was kind of wondering, maybe he was on the GLP-1 medication. Can that lead to fainting? And yes, it can. The GLP-1 receptor agonist, such as semaglutide, can lead to fainting, plus a whole bunch of other side effects. They actually call this GLP-1 syncope. They actually got a term for it. But instead, we're being told, he just felt lightheaded, and then fell, and then also someone had said that he was overwhelmed by the events of the day. He was overwhelmed by the events of the day. I remember passing out one time. The needle, they pulled out a needle, and I said that I get anxiety with needles, and when the nurse had pulled out a needle, I said I don't feel very good, and then I fainted. It was the only time I ever fainted in my life, and apparently one of the nurse dove and stopped my body from collapsing and hitting something on the ground or some shit, and then when I came to, it was crazy. I mean, it was almost like, what happened, shit. So, you could be overwhelmed by something, but just the events of the day. We were going to go to this roller coaster festival, and then we were going to go to this concert, and then I saw the Hamburglar from McDonald's. I was just overwhelmed by the events. That just doesn't make sense to me. There would have to be something that would trigger it, and it would be so much anxiety that the anxiety just went to, it's a panic attack, right? So you could also faint by doing too many drugs. You could also faint by being too tired to, maybe you worked out too much. So, was he on drugs? Who is this guy? Was he on drugs? We're not getting the story. I just fucking hate the media so much. But I think Dr. Oz called him Courtney, so, maybe we'll find out who this guy was and what the real story, what the real deal here was.
To try to prove that Americans are getting healthier. Literally, the breaking news on the Chiron said, return on investment is healthier Americans. Super symbolic that this press conference would happen at the White House during a time when Donald Trump was using his propaganda machine in Fox News to try to misinform the public that somehow they were getting healthier because...
Crazy thing about the press conference, a whole bunch of crazy things actually came out of that press conference. Check out Keith Edwards. Keith Edwards does such a great job reporting a bunch of, events. But Donald just stands there. He just stands there. Later on, people were making much ado about Robert Kennedy Robert Kennedy Jr. just walking away. But his office said that he went to go get help. It wasn't like, oh man, a man has passed out, let me get the fuck out of here. Oh no, somebody passed out, let me get the fuck out of here. Did you slip him, a Mickey Finn? No, he went to go get help. So, that's nothing. I think that's kind of dumb because he instantly ran out of the room, but to go get a doctor, right, to go get somebody who could help. And then, but just Trump just standing there. Trump just standing there kind of looking down on the guy like, oh, this son of a bitch. You're ruining my damn conference. You're ruining my press. You're ruining everything. And if it was just, I mean, he's old. He could just been an old man having a heart attack, you know? Could be his last throes of life.
Of this administration. It's also super symbolic that our Secretary for Health and Human Services, RFK Jr., who has no medicinal experience, no medical experience, no scientific or public health experience, would fucking run out of the room instead of trying to treat this person had he been a doctor.
Okay, so that don't make much sense since he has none of these, experiences. He went to go get a doctor. You want somebody that doesn't know jack shit to, I mean, I guess you could rush over there, make sure he doesn't fall down, hold his head comfortably, wave, fan his face, just tell, just kind of baby him, tell him it'll be okay. So I think this guy is wrong on the first part, or on the second part, but not the first part.
Had he been qualified, different fucking story. It's another damn shame for you. Dr. Oz talking about the links between obesity and dementia while this fat sack of bullshit is slunched over his motherfucking chair, sleeping.
People can sleep again because they can breathe as when they go to bed. Folks whose knees don't hurt. People who don't have heart attacks, renal failure, dementia. All the things we know are associated with obesity and much.
What app can you do that? That's such a cool app where you could just take your person and then just kind of float it all over the screen. I wonder how they do that. But yeah, what the fuck? Is that somebody dying over there? Oh man, you're ruining everything. Sorry, my heart attack fucking ruined your press conference. Jesus.